No, this is a island that at its widest level is, what, 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level, or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
On this Memorial Day, as our nation honors its unbroken line of fallen heroes, and I see many of them in the audience here today,
we're in the process of negotiating, and I hope you won't be offended if I tell you that I don't negotiate with people who don't have votes, and you don't have one.
Where are the clouds? Send in the clouds.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island.
Sure of my life, no one.
And I did it. Now they're saying I groped a male staffer. Yeah, I did. Not only did I grope him, I tickled him till he couldn't breathe, and then 4 guys jumped on top of me.
And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
I remember landing under sniper fire. There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now that is what happened.
Thank you.
And also things like the environment, the sensitive areas of the environment, coral reefs and those kinds of things. And I know that, you know, lots of people don't like to think about that, but you know, we didn't think about global warming either.
Look, John's last-minute economic plan does nothing to tackle the #1 job facing the middle class, and it happens to be, as Barack says, a 3-letter word: jobs. J-O-B-S, jobs.
I think you may have noticed that Senator Obama's supporters have been saying some pretty nasty things about Western Pennsylvania lately. And you know, I couldn't agree with them more. I couldn't disagree with you. I couldn't agree with you more than the fact that Western Pennsylvania is the most patriotic, most God-loving, most patriotic part of America.
and I want to be very clear that we are resolved to halt the rise of privacy.
Everybody knows that it makes no sense that you send a kid to the emergency room for a treatable illness like asthma. They end up taking up a hospital bed. It costs they just gave them treatment early, and they got some treatment and a breathalyzer or an inhalator, not a breathalyzer. I haven't had much sleep in the last 48 hours, so
if you think about it, UPS and FedEx are doing just fine, right? No, they are. I mean, it's the post office that's always having problems.
Because, it is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states, I think one left to go.
That John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that has not come my Christian faith.
I will not allow anyone to take a few misplaced words and impugn my record of service to our country.
I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
The clouds. Quick, send in the clouds.
I meet with the gays here and there. They was in my house 2 weeks ago. I don't mind gays, but I don't want them stuffing it down my throat all the time.
Mr. Attorney General, thank you for your able comments, and Mr. Henderson, it's good to work with you. Senator Leahy and I are talking during these hearings. We're going to do that crack cocaine thing that you and I have talked about.
Chair will recognize Mrs. Corrine Brown, the gentlewoman from Florida, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to congratulate my University of Florida football team for winning its second NCAA BCS Championship Bowl game in the last 3 seasons. Go Gator. I want to congratulate the University of Florida not only for being the best academic school, but also the athletic school in the country. Congratulations to the great players and outstanding coach Urban Myers for coaching a remarkable group of guys. So in closing, I want to leave you again with the Gators chant that I just love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the Gators don't take no jive. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentlewoman yields back her time.